So last time we saw that the Mishnah, we said that it was, so Rashi is saying that it's kasakataycha mishum de bari v'shema bari odif. So you have the idea, the havamina, that it's bari v'shema bari odif, and then the maskana is that it's not bari v'shema, but we have that it is either is a migu. So my afrishoina afgadim ukim mamonim b'cheskas mare. So they have a chazaka. So there's a migu. So that's the reason. There's no migu. Inami, there's the chazaka. So these are the two reasons why in the Mishnah she's ne menace. Because there's a migu or because there's chazaka. So Rashi, Ela de'ika migu. Why is there a migu? Kagon misharasi nanasti. Because from the time that I was, it happened after Erison already. The kagon hayu omeres mukas eitz ani. So, what is the migu here? She could have said mukas eitz ani. So instead of saying mukas eitz ani, she said nanasti after kedusha. Amrina migu de boy hatayna smilais. So that the migu, Rashi here is defining the migu. The migu is where you are, you have a better hatayna to make. Kagon gave mirasi nasti have hatayna mukas eitzani hatayna smilais. Because if you say mukas eitzani, it's much better. You will prefer to say mukas eitzani rather than saying that there was ma'anes after being kedushin. To lo pasan nafshe me kahuna, because somebody who has relations outside of the marriage is possible to the kahuna. So therefore, when she says that she is nanes, therefore she's possible to the kahuna. She should have said mukaseit. So therefore, we believe her that it's that she's telling the truth because she had a better time. And she said, instead of saying a better time, she said ne'anasti. Misharasti. V'kamisvela nafshe. To isha shishol shenesna, because a woman who's married to a Jew that has that is ma'anes, that was raped, is osir to a kohen. Shemamina kushta kamara. So Rashi is explaining that since she has a better tana to make, she could have made. So she had a better tana. She didn't make that better tana. She made a worse tana instead. And she made a worse tana, so therefore, she is believed in what she's saying. Because if she's a liar, then she had a better tana to make. The gabe hi omeres mukaseitzani, I boy amra mukaseitzani tachtech. So here Rashi's saying that when she says mukaseitzani, she's saying that happened before she got married. And she could have said that it happened after we got married. For Islam Matam, she would have got 200 zuz if she said that it happened before. We're going to have to all see this later and see what how these numbers are coming out. But Rashi's saying she had a better tana to make. She could say that she gets 200. She only has 100. So therefore, we have the two Mishnahs. The first Mishnah here, she's a migu taina of when she said that after I got kedushin, I was raped, and that's not as good a taina as saying mukaseitzani is the same. It's the same problems, issues mukaseitzani, but then she's still kosher to a kohen. In the second Mishnah, she says mukaseitzani. She could have said mukaseitzani after kedushin, but she says mukaseitzani before kedushin, and then she would have claimed 200 rather than 100. Since she's only claiming 100, and she could have claimed 200, so therefore we see she's got a better migu there. Now, this migu is a big problem, and you have to understand what is a migu. So a migu is that I have a better winning taina, And since I have a better winning taina, the fact that I don't make the better winning taina proves what I'm saying is the truth. Because if I made the better winning taina, if I was a liar, I would just want to made the better winning taina. So for example, it's the case in Bava Basra, where I have your goats. Now in the Gemara there, again, there's a lot of issues you can have questions on, but this is the basic idea. I've got your goats, and therefore I'm muksak in your goats. And if your goats are worth, let's say, 400, and I say that your goats ate $200 worth of my produce. Now I have no Adim on that, so therefore I come to Beis Din and I say, you did damage of $200, and you say that's fine. Just prove it to me and I'll pay you. And I'm like, well, I don't have any proof. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's no videos. There's no cameras. There's no nothing. I have no proof. There's no Adim. He says, well, if you prove it to me, I'll pay you. I just don't know. Now, if I'm mukzak in your goats, and your goats are worth 400, so now I have a migu. Because I could say that you owe me $200 for the damage to my crops. And I'll prove it to you that it's true. Because if it wasn't true, and so then I say you've done $200 worth of damage. It's the two options. I'm telling the truth or I'm lying. If I'm telling the truth, so pay me. So what do you want to say? I'm lying. If I'm lying, I have a better lie to make. If I was lying, I could say your goats are mine. I'd get $400 from you, and therefore believe me that you did damage of 200. So therefore, it's a proof of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is true. So that's a classic migu, that basically if I am telling you, if I'm saying that, believe me that you did $200 of damage, because if I'm a liar, I have a better lie. So to understand the migu, I have to understand the case. I come to you and I say you owe me $100. I say I'll prove to you you owe me $100 because I could have said you owe me $200. Now is that a good migu? And therefore you owe me $100.
No.
Why not?
Because it's not like the other one. You're not muksak in anything, right? You can't make a better claim because neither claim is believed.
No, I have a better claim. I have a better claim, but it's not a better winning claim. $200 is a better claim,
right.
But it's not a winning claim. It's not a winning claim. So if I say you owe me $100, so I don't have a migu of $200 because $200 wouldn't win, just like 100 doesn't win. So therefore 200 doesn't win. So in the case what I'm saying, that since I'm muksak in the goats, therefore I have a winning taina. So now we have a problem here in our Mishnah. Misharasi nenasti with a migu of mukaseitz. The other Mishnah says that she's ne'emenes for mukaseitz. However, if we go over there into that Mishnah of mukaseitz, why is she believed? Why is there ne'emenes? Now here we don't really get into the why she's believed, because we're relying on these same ideas of migu and chazaka. So Rashi says that over there, in the other Mishnah, she could have counted 200, and instead she only counted 100. So believe me, in our Mishnah, the Misharasni Nenasti, because I could have done mukaseitz. But that's mukaseitz. So mukaseitz is a winning time, because the next Mishnah says ne'emenes. But why you ne'emenes? Because I could have done 200. But if you done 200, I wouldn't believe you either. So this whole migu, there is no migu here. Because you have no winning taina that's on the back. So, if we look at the Pnei Yehoshua, V'zeh tema, the migu kazu lo matzinu, dugmas b'talmud. Right, so this migu is nothing like it in the Talmud. How could you say this migu? So the Pnei Yehoshua says it's the only lo matzinu dugmas b'talmud. This migu kazu, there's no other migu like in the whole Talmud. Like when you say dibo tas mukasetzani tachtech. So how could you say that I was under you? This is the second migu. That instead of it was before I did it, that it was under you. Bahai time and lo mehenna. Even that time he wouldn't be believed. As for Shita, you can say that you're making it up. So Pnei Yehoshua is saying that this is the only migu like this in the whole of Shas. The Rashba. A few of the Rebbe Eliezer. This is with Rabban Gamli says ne menace. My migu iku. How can you say there's a migu? In this case, which is the mukaseitz. If you look Bereisha, nami my migu iku. Even in the first Mishnah, what's their migu? Daha kaven de Medina fila amra mukaseitzani tachtech lo mehemna tefe. Even if you said that when the mukaseitz I was under you, so what Rashi's saying the migu is you have no further, you don't have a higher level of believability. Gamer and asti tachtech or mukaseitzani ad shalo erasti amai mehemna. So therefore you have like a chain going on here. You start off with the first Mishnah that you believe because you could have said mukaseitz, but and that would be believed. But why is that believed? Because of tachtech. So therefore since we don't believe tachtech, therefore we don't believe before Erusin, therefore we don't believe mi nenasti misharasti. So you not believe because of mukaseitz ani tachtech. The af he lo mehemna midina de maishana. So for the whole you're going back. None of these three tainas. You have the first taina of it was raped after kedushin, because I could have said mukaseitz. That's the second taina. Mukaseitz before kedushin is believed because of mukaseitz after kedushin. But mukaseitz after kedushin is not believed. So therefore mukaseitz before kedushin is not believed, and therefore mishrasin is not believed. Umigu ki hai lo ashkachan. We don't see. There's no such thing as a migu like this. Ela b'migu di iyamar haki have mehemnin. So Rashba is saying that you bring it back through all the different places, and you'll see that this migu doesn't work. Now let's have a look at the next part of the Gemara. So Tanani b'mai, what's the taina here? Rabbi Yochanan Amar b'Mesayim umana, Rabbi Eliezer Amar b'mana v'lo klum. So the woman is claiming more money. So the metayim is like a besula. This is for the mukaseitz. So the mukaseitz will get 200, and basically nechnas ba'ula was getting a mana. So we're going to see here, and if you've seen this Gemara, that the guy thinks he's getting a besula. It turns out that she's a ba'ula. You get a mana. Rabbi Eliezer Omer b'mana v'lo klum. That she claims a mana that she gets. So therefore a mukaseitz. You when you have the kesuva of a mukaseitz is 100, and then a man who is nechnas a besula and turns out that she's a ba'ula doesn't pay anything. So Rabbi Yochanan Amar b'Mesayim v'mana savar lo Rabbi Meir. So he's going like Rabbi Meir damar bein heker ba bein lo heker ba me'atayim. So this ben heker, when you introduce when you marry a woman, and sometimes you know that she's a mukaseitz, sometimes you don't know that she's a mukaseitz. So bein heker ba bein lo heker ba, you get 200. So therefore, she's claiming 200 because basically she says that I'm a mukaseitz, and you didn't know I was a mukaseitz, but I still get 200. For Rabbi Eliezer Omer b'mana v'lo klum, savar la k'rabbanan damri bein heker ba bein lo heker bar mana. So whether you know she's a mukaseitz, whether you don't know she's a mukaseitz, therefore you get a mana. So therefore, what is this? This you find out that she's a mukaseitz. Rabbi Meir says you get 200, and Rabbanan say you get 100. This is all going back in previous stuff. So Bishlan Rabbi Eliezer lokamarka Rabbi Yochanan dekamuki like Rabbanan. So Rabbi Eliezer is saying like the Rabbanan, that's what the halach is like. So therefore that's all good. But Rabbi Yochanan, what's Rabbi Yochanan doing? My time I lo amarka Rabbi Eliezer, and go. Why does Rabbi Yochanan not go like Rabbanan, like the halacha? So Rabbi Yochanan is making the Mishnah like Rabbi Meir, not like the Rabbanan. Now, here, this is all in the time where the guy finds out that she's a mukaseitz, but she was a mukaseitz at the time when he was marrying her. So therefore, how much? So it's megale afterwards. So it's the ben heker ba ben lo heker ba. So she was a mukaseitz when they got kedushin. He just didn't know it. So Rabbi Meir says 200, Rabbanan say 100. Is that okay? Is that all clear? Because he is. Therefore, she is saying, I was a mukaseitz before we got married, and you just didn't know about it. right? So she's saying it was before. So now you have this. So then now Rashi in Rabbi Eliezer, it says that Ben Hekerba Ben Lokapar a Mukasetz gets 100. Therefore, if the Mukasetz, so now she could have said I was Mukasetz after we got it after Kedushin, therefore I get 200. That doesn't work with Rabbi Meir, because Rabbi Meir, even if you say I was Mukasetz beforehand, you get 200. So Rabbi Yochanan is saying Me'atayim Ben Hekerba Ben Lokapar Me'atayim. So Rabbi Yochanan is saying Me'atayim V'mana. So he says that you get 100, but she says I got 200. So whether she says it was before Kedushin, whether she says after Kedushin, so there she has no Migu. According to Rabbi Yochanan, there's no Migu. Because she can't tie the extra 200. But everyone's agreeing that she says that it was before Kedushin. Rabbi Eliezer Omer B'mana V'lo Klum, Savar Lo K'Rabbanan Tamar Ben Heker Ben Lo Kippur. So why didn't Rabbi Her the Kamuki like Rabban Ela Rabbi Yochanan my time in Lord Mark Rabbi Zakasavar Kistan Becheskes Basula? The guy thinks that she's a basula, but Nimsa Ba'ula, and it turns out that she's a Ba'ula. Yesh Lo Kasuva Mana. She only gets 100. Now this is a maklokus in the previous on the previous dafim, and where there's a maklokus there in the Amoraim, and therefore Rabbi Yochanan is going like that. This you think that she's a basula, you then turns out that she's a Ba'ula. She gets 100 because this is his taina. Her taina is you didn't know that I was she says you didn't know I was a mukazetz, so I either get 200 or 100. He taina is I thought you were a basula, but now you're a ba'ula, so Rabbi Yochanan holds you only get 100. But Rabbi Eliezer says you get nothing. Hakahu de kamar mana, so therefore a mana v'hikimar mana, so therefore according to Rabbi Yochanan, if he holds like the Rabbanan, she says you didn't know I was a mukazetz, but now I'm a mukazetz, I get 100. Now, since Rabbi Yochanan holds that he thought that she was a basula and it nickels as a ba'ula, you only get 100, therefore there's no maklokas. Ma'ike bein taina di day, taina di day. Everyone holds you get 100. Therefore he has to make it like Rabbi Meir to make it that she's actually claiming 200. So Bishlam Rabbi Eliezer Hani to Katani Tarti. We know why he have it twice. Chadel Fukitim mid Rabbi Barchama v'Chadel Fukitim mid Rav Chia. So the Rebbe, so these are on the previous dafim, and the Rami Barchama is you get 100 that you didn't lo heker mukasetz. So the Mishnah says you get 100 because. When Rami Barchama says lo heker mukatetz, you get nothing. The Mishnah says you get 100. So this is what Rabbi Yochanan is holding by. That nimsa ba'ula you get 100. That's taka what Rabbi Yochanan holds, like that sheet of Rav Sheshes. So Ela Rabbi Yochanan and Tarti Lameli. Why do I need to? I want to say that he's ne'menes, even in the case of so there's no migu of mukazetz. The Rabbi Yeshua. So once for the koach Rabbi and once for the koach of Rabbi Yeshua. The kamaisa of nenasti lehodia koach de Rabbi Yeshua dafakav de ikel ameim or migu lo mehemna. So the first one is the migu and he not believed. Even though there's no migu, you're still believed. So here Rabbi Yochanan is saying that this whole thing is migu. Sorry, the whole thing, there's not even a migu here according to Rabbi Yochanan. So therefore Rabbi Yochanan has to go with this whole pshat of chazaka. So that's the pshat for Rabbi Yochanan in the second Mishnah and the first Mishnah, and we don't need this whole business of migu at all. If you have a look at the Ritva, Elahaka migu kol dehu amrinin. It's just a migu kuldahu. V'kein b'perek ha'isha mishum t'lidei adifa la daita lamemar idach tainosa. The hatayna mishum cheskas t'gufa. The hatayna of Rabbi Gamliel is because of cheskas t'gufa. V'nuschei tuva ika d'lo garcina igla taima basra. So the Ritva is saying that there's girsas that don't even have migu in our Gemara. So when it says the ukma achazaka, right? So that's the yikr. We don't bother with this whole migu thing. And the migu, Rabbi Yochanan holds that the next Mishnah is going like Rabbi Meir, and there is no migu. Now, problem number one is, well, Rashi says there is a migu. Rashi's guiderates there is a migu. And secondly, what about this chazaka? Ukma achazaka. Misvekelan ashas erusin. Since we don't know at the time of erusin, I basula hai vinishta badla lemesayim. So if she's a basula, she gets 200. I baula have maybe she's a baula and she only gets 100. Hemanisha al chazaka u basula noidla. So therefore you have the cheskas of guf. She was born as a basula. The hak hashta who it's only now denesta achar erison. So therefore we go. So we say that the this is that toisus we saw that the cheskas of guf beats the other chazakas. The cheskas the hashta. She is baula. So we say that she's baula. So that baula she was always baula. We say no, the cheskas of guf that she was born basula goes all the way. So therefore in our Mishnah of Misharasi Nenasti, the cheskas of guf wins out, and therefore we say that she was baula after they got married, and therefore that the oinus happened after Arusin and not before. So we have a chazaka in the first Mishnah. Yeah? So now, what's the chazaka in the second Mishnah? We said that the whole maklokas, she says that I was mukaseitz before we got married. And he said, no, you were a ba'ula before we got married. Everyone's agreeing that she was in this, she has no basulim. She's lacking basulim before married. How does cheskas akuf help anything? What is the chazaka that's on the first mission and that's on the second mission? There is no chazaka here. Because you go with cheskas of guf, and you'll say that's after she got married, but she says it's before we got married. So there's no cheskas of guf here. So what on earth is the chazaka? So you can only tie the chazaka. There's no migu and there's no chazaka. So what the hell's pshat in the Mishnah? So we started with Bari V'Shema. No, it's on migu and it's on chazaka. So there's no migu and there's no chazaka. So what the hell's going on? Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we even have here in the Toises here. Eile Ika Migu. Hai Shinunu Lo Ati Eile Rav Nachman. It only goes like Rav Nachman till Rabbi Yochanan Bahachi Demukasais Lika Migu. It's no Migu. So again, Toises is Gairis Migu. Ritva says let's not Gairis the Migu. Still walking into the problem of a chazaka. What the hell's a chazaka? But here again, Toises is Gairis Migu, and he says Migu was only for Rav Nachman and not for Rabbi Yochanan, as you see Lekamon. Not really going to get into this Toises, unless it's time after, because it's dealing with a different point. It's something we need to do with Migus. It's going back to the idea of Bari B'Shema. Now, as a break, I'm going to have a look at the Moshe Feinstein. So we have that. Really what the Gemara is saying here is that there is no migu. Doesn't mean we'll have a look at the Toises here. Ravasi Amar Nivla Aval Nistera Moide Rebbe Yeshua Tnei Menes Loimer Lekasher Nevalti, but Migu, because if you want to say I lo Nevalti. This is going on later on Gemara. So this is on Vim Tema Ha Rebbe Yeshua Lisle Migu. He doesn't have Migu. Gavi Mercy Nanasti. Yishlomer Dahasam Lo Havi Migu Gomer. That by the first Mishnah is not a proper Migu. Dahafilo Amra Mukasetzani Ena Menes. Even if you say Mukasetz, then you're not believed. The Rebbe Yeshua. So he's saying that in Rebbe Yeshua. Actually saying, that's the Megillah. It's going to have Migu. So why is it called a Migu? It's a better taina. That's what Rashi's saying. See, Rashi is saying that she's claiming 100, and she could have claimed 200. So therefore, the Migu is, believe what I'm saying, because I had just a better taina, but it's not a proper Migu. So I have a taina ma'ula b'yoter. I could have claimed 200 and I claimed 100. There's still no ne'emanis in this, but Toysa says it's not a Migu gomer, so it's like a semi Migu. So in this teretz of the Gemara, it's that you have a chazaka plus a bari, and you have a Migu plus a bari. So Masha Kosev Yididi, my good friend, Behezber Masha Mehani chazaka plus bari. So how does the bari and the chazaka come together in order to win? Oh, Migu plus bari. So the bari is mitzdaref to the Migu if it's sirf. So the bari is not bari v'shema bari lavadif. But if you have the bari and the chazaka and the bari and the sha and the bari and the Migu, so it does work. So each one by itself doesn't help. How does it help with its sirf? So each one by himself doesn't work. So why, if you join them together, do they work? Because Sova Staf Yud Beis Misham She Bedin Toyin Venitan who Sheim Echad Toyin Mechayev Chaveru Lahashiv Heino Lov. So one guy tainas from his friend to, you have to say yes or no. V'teshuva Shema, and he says Shema Eino Teshuva. Rak Sherebi Nachman V'Rei Yochanan Savar Shebelo Borur Eino Taina. If it's not a bari, it's not a taina. Ve'eino Mechayev Lahashiv. So therefore, the Migu and the Chazaka come together to make it a taina. So if I say to you, you owe me money. On Bari, you owe me money. So that's not enough in order to make you mechayiv to give a teretz. But if I have a Chazaka or I have a Bari plus my taina, so now you have to give. Now it becomes a good taina. These two together create a good taina. We had it last time that you didn't make a taina. You're supposed to come saying, hey, you owe me $100. It's not enough to make it a taina. But now I've got a chazaka or a bari. Now it's a taina that you need to give a proper answer. And if you tishar chaveru lahashiv v'shema eino teshuva. So if you say shema, it's not good enough. It's good enough against a bari, but it's not good enough against a bari plus a migu or bari plus a chazaka. So that even though bari v'shema bari love adif, if I say. So why is that? Because the bari is not enough to mechayiv you. So you say you owe me 100. No, I don't owe you. Whatever. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. If I have chazaka, and I've got a bari or I have a migu, and the bari now you have to make a proper taina, a proper teretz, and your teretz of migu is not good enough. And that is the kitzer of yididi. So yididi is. Goyin Maharav Eliezer Menachem Shach. So this is Rav Shach who wrote to Moshe Feinstein, and this is the bearer of why the tziruf is good enough to win. So the bar in the migu creates on the other side you need a proper teretz, and that shema is not a good teretz, and therefore why those two things work. We're still stuck with the problem of we don't have a migu, we don't have chazaka, so therefore how does all this work? Now the chazaka is a lot easier to answer up. So in the Ramban, the efshir she'af b'mukaseitz ika chazaka de gufa. So maybe also by mukaseitz you're going to have a chazaka de gufa. What is the chazaka? The chazikan shelo yeh derusis ish below baal. So you have a chazaka that you're not a derusis ish. So when you're not married, you're not a derusis ish. So she time is on a mukaseitz, and he time is you're a derusis ish. That there's a chazaka, you're not a drusis ish without being married. So since she's a penuya, therefore the chazaka of not being a drusis ish helps her with her. So cheskas aguf says that I'm not a drusis ish. The came to mixes a nusach vehelchas rabbeinu gadol to lo garas hatamela al korcha lo amar magil hasan ela dermin uke isa a chazaka. So one time is that yes, it's not a cheskas besula, but you're not a mukaseitz, so you're not a drusis ish, so therefore it happened naturally. He didn't have bia. The Ran, which is on the Dafe Harif, Eila Damrin Uke Isa Echazaka. To Masvikin Ashas Erusin, I Basula Have Vishnoidla Meatime, or Baula Have Hamedisha Echazaka. So again, this is the Shas Erusin. We know where's our suffix. Our suffix is at the time of Erusin. Is she Basula, and therefore he goes to 100, or is she Baula, and therefore Venemet Isha Achazaka, Ubasula Noilas. She was a Basula. The Hach Shah, who Dileisana la Acher Erison, it happened after Erison Ubedi. So that's the first one. So the first one is that the Oines happened after Erison. Ubeidach, the second Mishnah, plucked at the Besamoch, the Hiomeres Mukasetzani, the Hiomer Lo, Kiela Drusasesh at Iklamei Mor Nami Ukma Chazaka. What's the Chazak? Shachas Benus Yisrael, She'enan Mizanas. So there's like a Cheskes Kashrus of women where he's tiny, you're not a kosher, you were mezana, and she tiny is no, I'm a good Beis Yaakov girl, and therefore I still have a chazaka, which is on the psulim, that I was mukaseitz and I wasn't. It's not a ish. Yeah, so going back on the Rabbi Yochanan in our Gemara is over like Rabbi Meir. V'tema amay lo amra mukaseitzani tachteich. Why can't I say that I was a mukaseitz under you? Just make that time, because we don't have, there's no migu here anyway. So just say that the tiboy may have time, and then she will claim 200. So Rabbi Yochanan, why Rabbi Yochanan is going like Rabbi Meir? Because it's 100 and 100. So he's saying, well, just say that you're claiming 200 mukasetzani tachteich, and then you will claim 200, and then you'll get 100. So Rabbi Elazar is saying that she claims 100 and he's claiming 0. Rabbi Yochanan says yes, she's claiming 200 like Rabbi Meir, and then it's 100. So well, why is it 200 like Rabbi Meir? Make it 200 like the Rabbanan, which you say that I was tachteich. I feel a Rabbanan v'ihunami nema drusasish at, and then you also say you're drusasish tachteich ve'en lecha klum. Then you don't have 100. V'isa ketivrei akol, because like everybody. Yishlamar al korcha detani matnisim boy limit nese afilu bekacha ubal altar. That the Mishnah's going even in a case of when you had kedushin and you had bia immediately. So you have, let's say, like we do it today, that there's no time in between, so therefore she can't hatayna as a mukaseitz tactic. Since she can't hatayna that, therefore happens immediately. And if that happens, if that, like in our cases, we don't have a migu of tachteich, because as soon as you get married, so then there's no chance in a time. But you don't have a taina of drusas ishas after kedushin either. B'shraisa lehodia koach d'Rebbe Gamliel. I'll definitely get the lika migu. Perish the law matzi letayim mukasetzani tachteich. I can't say mukasetzani tachteich. So according to Rabbi Meir, so this is the whole thing. Rabbi Yochanan, there is no migu. You can't taina this whole thing. You can't tie it according to tachteich. Chada de manisim bekacha bal altar. He b'sul Rabbi Yochanan lika b'hai migu dehalididei mukasetzani miikara afal pi shaloheker ba yesh lamatam. So she gets the 200. So there's no migu. So to understand this migu, so again we said that this is the only migu. The Pnei Yeshua is saying it's the only migu and the whole Shas that's like this. So this is the famous Koach שעורים that brings out the idea of Koach hatayna. Have you ever heard of Koach hatayna? So this is the famous. So v'nira b'bir shnei tirutzim shebaran. The din migu yesh leperusha b'shnei ofanim. There's two ways to understand the din of migu. And it's a harisha omer emes. So one idea of a migu is that we're saying you're telling the truth. It says, and it's a how do you telling the truth? How do you know you're telling the truth? The mali l'sheker, why are you lying? So mali l'sheker means is that if you're lying, so again, everything I'm saying based in, I'm either telling the truth or I'm lying. There's no other option. Now, if I am lying, if I'm telling the truth, so give me what I'm asking for, because I'm telling the truth. The other option is that I'm lying. So then you have this idea of mali l'sheker. So why, if I'm lying, why do you think I'm lying? The haya yachol l'toyin tainas tuva mizu, because I could have made a taina that's better than this. Since I could have made it, if I'm a liar, I would have made a better taina. So believe me what I'm saying, because I could have made a better taina. L'fiyat tamezeh katavaran dahacha have migu lechetzi taina. Is down in the idea that you have a migu and then you split up the tainas. Now, here he's never saying you're going to win. This whole first way of understanding the migu is taka. You've got is mali l'sheker. You have a better taina. Either I'm telling the truth or I'm lying. If I'm lying, I have a better taina to make. There's not that I have a better winning taina, but I have a better taina to make. Second way of learning migu, to anu mitam anu sahadi. It's not because of Anan Sahadi. Anan Sahadi is the Adim are saying, yeah, we believe, yeah, we poskin you telling the truth. It's a din in ne'emonis. You have a din of believability. We're not poskin that. You come in with the belief. The Koach ne'emonis yeshlo toin tainas acheres. So you have a koach of believability because I have another taina that I could make. Therefore, your ne'emon gamal taina zos. So therefore, since I had a different taina that I could have made, that is my koach ne'emon. It's my koach hatayna. Koach hatayna is that I have a winning taina that I could have made. So we have two ways to understand the migu. So again, v'al korcha lo epchachlan mashahu lechetzi taina. So you can't break it up. The mashana yesh koach ne'emon lechetzi. Yesh koach ne'emon lechetzi taina. So we have two ways to understand. One is that I'm telling the truth. Just believe me, I'm telling the truth because I have a better taina to make. The other is I have a koach hatayna because I have a better winning taina to make. Since I have a better winning taina to make, I can make whatever hell I want. There are two ways to learn the migu. So again, v'kevarnit bar lamala, which we just saw. The migu yeshbo shtei dinim. Mitam birur, it's a birur. So when I say, yeah, that malo l'sheker, because I have a better taina to make. So if I say, you owe me 100, I could have made a better taina. So it's just a birur. So that birur to anan sahadi she'omer emes. So to malo l'sheker. Why is he lying? I say 100, you owe me 100. Why are you lying? I have no proof. And if I said 200, I'd lose. If I said 300, I lose. No, I could have believed I'd lose. But just why is he lying? He could have made up a bigger lie. I tell you, I got 500 points on Pac-Man. So believe me, Malo Shek, why is he lying? If he's a liar, say he's got 10,000. Yeah, but if he said 10,000, he got 20,000. Is it 20,000? So in that, but it's still, he's calling it a birur. Mitam birur. Now, if I say to you, you're wearing my shirt, that is a birur. You're wearing it, but maybe now if you say, I don't know, I found it, so therefore I'd win, because I'm medvara that's mine, because I say it's my shirt. If you say no, it's not your shirt, so therefore you win, because again it's not a raya. It's not a raya. The fact that you're wearing it, it's a birur. The fact that you say it's yours, it's a birur. It's not a raya that it's yours, but it's a birur. So therefore, when you make a claim, it's a birur that what you're saying is true. So therefore, again, it's so. Panei Yeshua, we saw last time that the bari is that someone's not going to make a taina if he doesn't. If like everyone's kosher, and I'm not going to say for sure you owe me money if you don't actually owe me money. This is taking a similar idea. That's a birur. When I say you owe me, if I say you owe me 100, when I could have claimed you owe me 200, there's a birur there that I'm telling the truth. It's not a raya I'm telling the truth, but it's a birur that I'm telling the truth. So the second way, so when I say you owe me 200 for damaging my crops, and I could have tained that they're my goats, you believe me that you damaged it. It's not a birur. It's din. I have a din of ne'emonis. Psak, you're believed because I'm not lying, because I could have claimed your goats. Therefore, I have a din of ne'emonis in this. I have a din of ne'emonis. If I say they're my goats and you owe me 400, I would win in din. And therefore, anything that I say in that point up to the 400, I believe. That's a koach hatayna. That walking into based in being muksak in your goats gives me a koach hatayna up to the value of those goats. It's a din in Ne'eman. It's not a birur, it's a din. The nafkibin a bench ne'atamin, and the nafkibin between them is the second time they're din and shaykh loimer b'zeh palgin in Ne'eman. So you can split up the Ne'emanos. Because it's a din in Ne'emanos. It's not that we believe you what you're saying. Because once you believe you what you're saying, you believe in everything in what you're saying. Therefore, you can't split it up. Once you have a din in Ne'emanos, who cares? We can split it up because it's din in Ne'emanos. Come on, b'chol din in Ne'emanos go on be'erechod v'keduma. The first one is bitam birur v'holkacha she'aemes kedevrav. So therefore, everything you're saying, it's a birur. What you're saying is true. Lo shaykh loimer palkin in Ne'eman. We can't say split it up. Now, therefore, what's the main din of Migu? Is that koach hatayna or birur? It's koach hatayna. The ikar Migu, every Migu is koach hatayna. The Penei Yeshua says this is the only Migu like this in the whole of Shas. So this, in the whole of Shas, this is a birur. Now we have this Migu being a birur, so therefore the Migu on its own won't work. But that's okay because we have the Bari plus the Migu. Stick it in like Rav Shach. This Bari plus this Migu is enough to machayev you a proper teretz, and therefore your Shema isn't good enough to be moitzi the two bearers together. So it's not a proper Migu. It's a Migu gerua. Again, as Tosfos says, it's a lav lo havi Migu gomer. It's a tiny, but it's a tiny me'ula b'yoyter. So again, in Rashi, you could have said 200. You only claimed 100. It's a birur. You're telling the truth. And if that's all you had, there's no way we believe you. Plus the bari. So now you have, and again, even if you say bari, it's not true, you'd win, or you'd be muksak in it. But it's because you're muksak in the money, you wouldn't have to pay. But with those two, that shema then is not good enough in order to win. So it's the migu and the chazaka. So that's so this migu, there's no real migu here, and at the same time it's only a birur. Now I asked the question again to see if you understand migus or not. We have bari v'shema. Why don't we believe the shema and say, since the shema has a migu, I could have said bari, and that's a koach hatayna. Why don't we believe him? Get that question?
Because in the case of bari and shema, it's birur. You're not.
No, it's koach hatayna, because if he said bari, he'd win. It's a real migu. It's a real migu when you are, but you win with bari. If you bari is a winning taina. So believe me, Shem. So bari v'shema bari yadif, but believe the shema because he could have said bari and he would have won. There's only bari v'shema bari yadif and bari v'bari bari lo adif. So therefore, yes, it's a real migu. So according to Shita, he should believe the shema. So what's going on? So now here we go. So Taka Shema has a migu, right? And we Taka believe him. We Taka believe him. We believe him that he's a Shema. And a Bari and a Shema, Bari Adif. And he says, well, I'm a Shema. He says, yeah, we believe you that you're a Shema. I don't think you're lying at all. I could have done a Bari, yeah, but the migu is believe me what I'm saying, because I had a better, yeah, we believe him in the Shema. Believe me what I'm saying. So if I claim the 200, believe me, you owe me 200 because I could have said they're my goats. So we're saying, yeah, they're not your goats, and you don't get 400. I believe you that he did damage at 200. So I believe the claim I'm making because I had a better winning claim. So you have the koach hatayna, and the Shema has the koach hatayna, and he could have claimed bari, and he didn't. So therefore, you believe him. It's a Shema. We taka believe you. You don't know, but you should have known. So therefore, pay up. So we taka believed, but that's what again the migu don't get confused. The migus believe me the taina that I'm making because I had a better winning taina. If I was lying, I would have made a different taina. But we don't believe the different taina because that's a lie. We believe the taina you're making now because that's what the migu does. Believe what I'm saying because because if I was a liar, I had a different tana to make. So every Migu is really coming through Koach hatayna, but this Migu is one coming through birur, because you had a better tana, a little bit of a better tana, but that plus the bari will then make it. Well, then now without the Migu, you didn't have to answer the bari, but now with the Migu, you have to answer the bari, and therefore Shema isn't good enough according to all Shitas.